Celebrity viewers, you are welcome back to the channel. Today we'll be learning how to make a bubu dress with a built-up collar. I used the crepe material for the built-up collar. You can decide to use ashoke. I used 4 yards of Ankara fabric, and you'll be needing paper stay, and you can actually use hard stay to make the built-up collar stand very well. Right here, my fabric has been folded into 4. I'm going to be cutting the front and the back piece together to save fabric. So for the width of the neckline for the back, I'm using 3 inches, and for the depth, I'm using 1 inch. That is what I am marking right there. So for the neck depth of the front, I am using 16 inches. So when I mark that 16 inches, at that particular point, I came in by 1.5 quarter. You can decide to do 2 inches. That is how wide you want your built-up collar to be at the down part. So I'm just going to be connecting it back to that 3 inches that I marked over there. Please subscribe to my channel, turn on your notification bell. Let's become a family, because more videos are coming this month and this year. So I'm connecting over there. Actually, before I connected, I decided to confirm my measurement. So that is it over there. And at the sleeve side, I am just trying to measure what I have left, and just to confirm if the 2 fabrics placed on each other are equal at the hem side. So for the sleeve, I wanted to use 15 inches, but by the time I checked through the other side, that's what I'm checking over there, I noticed that they are not equal. One side is longer than the other, so I reduced it to 14 inches. So I'm marking the shoulder over there, and then marking the remaining I have there, and I noticed that okay, is something that I can work with. So go ahead and confirm. If your fabric is not equal, you can reduce the sleeve length as well. So after that, I came down by 1 inch at the hem of that sleeve line, and I connected it back to the 3 inches waist neck measurement that I took earlier. So after doing that, I'm going to be measuring my sleeve opening. So I used 12 inches for a round sleeve because it is bubu and it's supposed to be free. So I used 12 inches at that point. I was contemplating maybe I should use 10 inches or 11 inches, but I resolved to using 12 inches. You can increase it or reduce it. It depends on how wide your client wants it to be, and if you are making it for yourself, you can as well just do that. So for our bust is 48 inches, and then I added extra 18 inches to it. She is of a plus size and she wants the bubu to be very big, so I added 18 inches extra to our bust, which is 47 but plus 18, and then I divided what I have by into 4. So that is what I am marking from that side all the way down. And don't forget to add 1 inch extra allowance for the stitching. You can choose not to add extra allowance because we already have excess allowance. So I am just marking that particular measurement all round, and then I will use it to form a straight line. If you have watched to this point and you have not given me a thumbs up, you have not even subscribed to my channel, please do that. It's actually very free. Please subscribe to my channel, help my video to reach more audience. Subscribe, like it, and please drop a comment for me. It is so simple. Just say something that will make the algorithm to push my video to a larger audience. So that is what I am doing over there. I am marking out also the length of the dress that I am making, the bubu I am making. So after doing that, go ahead and come back to your sleeve side or the armhole. We are trying to create the armhole for the sleeve. Remember that our armhole is not straight, so I'm just going to come out by 1.5 inches there, because I always like a slanty kind of shape for the sleeve of my bubu. You can choose not to do this. This is actually very optional. So I'm just going to curve it inside that way. So after that, I'm going to go ahead and cut it So remember, the both front and back are placed on each other. So I'm cutting the back first. Please don't make the mistake of cutting the front because that way the fabric is spoiled already. So go ahead and cut the back first, and also the shoulder slant, the sleeve, the armhole curve at that side, and also the side measurement and the length of the bubu. That is what I am doing right here. So we have come to the end of the cutting of the back. So I'm going to remove the back piece and then cut the front piece. So go ahead and do the same thing as what you are seeing me doing right here. So I'm cutting the front piece. Watch closely where I am cutting so that you won't make a mistake. So I'm going to open it up for you guys to see. If yours is not looking like this, please go ahead and correct it. So this is how we get our built up length or built up kind of shape for our bubu. So the next thing is to join the shoulder of the front and the back together. Place front and the back together and join them at the shoulder. I'm going to be using 1/2 inch to join mine. So I have joined it here and I'm trying to show you that I have joined it, and then this is what I have. So now let's proceed to the cutting of our built-up collar. So how do you cut your built-up collar? You are going to take your measuring tape and measure from one angle of that built-up shape that we have made. Measure it carefully. You can decide to pick it up and measure it round, or you measure it on the floor or your cutting table, just like what I did here. So here I have 40 inches after measuring, and I had extra 10 inches. The reason for this extra 10 inches is that so that you have excess after joining it round to your neckline. So before we continue, the width of my long strip, you are going to cut a long strip. That is what the measurements that you have taken, and for the width I use 6 inches, so 3 inches on fold. So after this, we are going to create a opening for our neck to pass through. So please take note of this process that I'm about to do. So pick the end of each of the rope long strip that you have cut. Pick the end of each other, like pick it, see what I am doing there, and then I decided to pin it down. You might decide not to pin yours, but I cannot work without pins. So for the length of the neck opening that I used 14 inches. You can choose to use 10, but please don't use something lower than 10 so that your neck can pass through it. I used 14 inches for my clients, and then I'm going to sew from that end of the opening down to that 14 inches. So after stitching that, this is what we have. If you do exactly what I showed you, you will have the same result. So I picked the back part of this bubu, and I'm notching the center part. Already we have a crease line on this our built up collar, but on this our collar rather, it's not built up yet. So on this our collar we have the crease line. So I just want to confirm it, and then I notched it. So I'm placing the two notched on each other, and I'm going to sew to one end. If you notice, we have like 4 corners at that end of the collar on the fabric. So I'm just going to sew to that end and then sew to the other end. I'm going to sew ½ inch lower than that edge so that I can be able to notch it out. So go ahead and do that. I have done that at my end. Go ahead and do the same thing at your end. The reason it is gaping there is because I have not notched it. So let's notch it together. So go ahead and notch your own. At this part, I don't know that my camera is not capturing what I am doing. So I'm just trying to show you that you have to notch the end over there so that your collar can feel relaxed. If you do not notch it, your collar is not going to feel relaxed. So after notching it, make sure you iron. When you are making a built-up collar or any dress as a fashion designer, make sure you are ironing as you are sewing. So I'm notching the other end of the collar. This part is not visible, it's not showing well. I don't know that I am far away from my camera at this point. Yeah, so this is the inside of the Bubu. Go ahead and weave it. I'm going to take it to a place where I weave because I don't have a weaving machine right now. So after doing that, you will see a particular place remaining. Just go ahead and stitch it. Stitch it down so that your collar can stay in place. If you don't stitch it down, your collar won't stay in place. So this is the outside look. I have gone ahead to stitch down the remaining part. That is why I said that we should add about 10 inches excess to the length of the stripe that you are trying to cut for your built-up collar. So after notching and you have stitched down that other part I showed you earlier, go ahead and iron. Ironing is very important. See how neat mine is looking already. So I am going to go ahead and hem the sleeve of my Bubu, and then I am going to cut the pocket. But if you don't want pocket in yours, you can just go ahead and join the side like that. So see what we have here. See what we have here. It is looking so beautiful, and I am loving this particular style. So I am trying to mark where I'm going to put my pocket because my client requested for a pocket. So I am marking 20 inches. That is where I want my pocket to be. So go ahead and cut your pocket the way you know how to cut it. This is me trying to cut my pocket as well. If you have watched to this point, please give me a thumbs up. I know you are learning a lot already. If you have any difficulty, go ahead and ask in the comment section. I'll be right there to provide answers to anything that you don't understand. So I'm cutting my pocket here, like I mentioned earlier. Go ahead and cut yours as well. If you are not using a pocket, just go ahead and join the side of your Bubu, and then your dress is ready. Your Bubu is ready to be worn and also to be delivered to whosoever you are sewing it for. So at this point, I am bringing in my Bubu, and then I am trying to notch a particular place where I am going to put my pocket. Remember, I said I measured 20 inches from the shoulder to know where I want to put my pocket. At this point, it's not visible at the other end, but I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. So from the shoulder, I am going to measure 20 inches again. At first, I wanted to use 17 inches, but I realized that I need to just use 20 inches. So I'm marking that 20 inches to the other side, to the side that I want the pocket to be. I'm going to notch it at that side, and then from the armhole, I am just going to stitch with 1 inch all the way down. At the hem part, I'm just going to use 1.5 inches to hem it. I will turn it ½ inch first and then 1 inch on top, and voila, this is the outcome of the Bubu that we just made. Thank you for watching, and see you in my next video. Please don't forget to subscribe. Bye.